In the quiet expanse of Blackbird State Forest, a chilling mystery unfolded in September 1986. Nestled in the heart of Delaware, this serene woodland became the setting for a haunting tale that remains unresolved to this day. Jane Marie Pritchard, a dedicated botanist, chose this tranquil environment for her research, unaware of the tragic fate that awaited her. She was there, engrossed in the study of nature, when the tranquility of the forest was shattered by the deafening sound of a gunshot. Jane's life was abruptly and inexplicably cut short. Her lifeless body was later discovered by unsuspecting campers who had ventured into the forest seeking a peaceful retreat. The sight they stumbled upon was anything but. A dedicated scientist, absorbed in her work, had met an untimely end, her life extinguished in the very forest she had been studying. The initial shock quickly gave way to a flurry of questions. Who could have done this? Why? The authorities were promptly alerted and an investigation was launched. The forest had been bustling with hunters that day, a fact that could not be overlooked. Could a stray bullet have claimed Jane's life? The investigators, however, were quick to dismiss this theory. The evidence suggested a deliberate act, not an unfortunate accident. The authorities scoured the forest, interrogated numerous hunters present that day, and yet, they were left with more questions than answers. The motive behind Jane's murder remained as elusive as the perpetrator. Despite the numerous potential suspects, no one seemed to have a reason to harm the unsuspecting botanist. The case of Jane Marie Pritchard soon turned cold, yet it never left the minds of those who knew her, and those who tried to bring her justice. Despite the many hunters present in the forest that day, the question of who had a motive to kill Pritchard remained a mystery, a question that haunts investigators to this day. Time has a way of blurring the details, but the timeline of Jane's last day is etched in the annals of Delaware's criminal history. It was on a bright September morning in 1986 when Jane Marie Pritchard, a dedicated botanist, arrived at Blackbird State Forest. Armed with her research tools and passion for botany, she embarked on another day of scientific exploration, unaware of the tragic fate that lay ahead. As the morning progressed, Jane was immersed in her experiments, studying the diverse flora that the forest offered. Meanwhile, unbeknownst to her, the forest was also teeming with hunters, their attention focused on game, not the lone researcher in their midst. As the day wore on, Jane's work continued undisturbed. However, as the shadows lengthened and the forest's evening chorus began, a chilling event unfolded. A gunshot echoed through the forest, the violent sound disrupting the serene ambiance. Jane's life was abruptly and inexplicably cut short. It wasn't until later that campers, drawn by their curiosity, stumbled upon a horrifying scene. Jane's lifeless body lay in the forest, a grim testament to the violent events that had transpired. The tranquility of the forest was shattered, replaced by a palpable sense of shock and dread. The news of Jane's murder sent ripples of disbelief and fear through the community. The forest, once a haven for nature enthusiasts and hunters alike, had become a crime scene. Investigators were swiftly called to the scene, their mission clear yet daunting: to unravel the mystery behind Jane's death. The initial investigation ruled out an accidental shooting, despite the presence of many hunters in the forest that day. Yet, as the investigators delved deeper, they were left grappling with a perplexing question: why would anyone want Jane dead? Despite their best efforts, the identity of Jane's killer remained shrouded in mystery, a chilling enigma that continues to haunt Delaware's criminal history. As the sun set on Blackbird State Forest, Jane's life was tragically cut short, leaving behind more questions than answers. The whodunit of Jane's death has perplexed detectives and true crime enthusiasts alike. The investigation into her untimely demise was as thorough as it was confounding. Detectives meticulously combed through Blackbird State Forest, the grim backdrop of her murder. They interviewed numerous potential suspects, many of whom were hunters present in the forest that fateful September day in 1986. Despite the major influx of hunters, investigators were quick to rule out an accidental shooting. It became chillingly clear that Jane's death was no accident, but a deliberate act of violence. Forensic evidence, or rather the lack thereof, added another layer of complexity. No fingerprints, no weapons, no clear signs of a struggle were found at the scene. It was as if Jane's murderer had vanished into thin air, leaving only her lifeless body as a testament to their heinous crime. Leads were explored, but each one seemed to hit a dead end, further deepening the mystery. Over the years, countless theories have been proposed in an attempt to shed light on Jane's murder. Some speculated that Jane may have stumbled upon a secret she wasn't supposed to see, leading to her murder. Others suggested that a scorned lover or an obsessed stalker might be the culprit. Some even proposed the idea of a random act of violence by a passing stranger. But without concrete evidence, these theories remain just that, theories. Potential motives were as varied as they were perplexing. Was it a crime of passion, a desperate act of a threatened individual, or a senseless act of violence from a stranger passing through? Each theory seemed plausible, but none provided that crucial link to Jane's killer. Despite the best efforts of investigators, Jane's murder remains unsolved, the killer's identity shrouded in mystery. The question of who killed Jane Marie Pritchard continues to echo in the wind, unanswered, a chilling reminder of a life cut short and a crime left unpunished. Jane Marie Pritchard's case, like a haunting melody, still echoes in the corridors of Delaware's law enforcement. The mysterious circumstances of her murder in the tranquil setting of Blackbird State Forest, the subsequent investigation that ruled out an accidental shooting yet failed to identify a killer or motive, remain perplexing. The lingering questions, the who and the why, still hang heavy in the air, a chilling testament to the enigma that is Jane's demise. The theories abound, yet none satisfyingly answer these questions. This cold case has left an indelible mark not only on Jane's family, who are still seeking closure, but also on the local community, forever changing their perception of the forest they once knew as a peaceful retreat. The chilling tale of Jane Marie Pritchard serves as a stark reminder of the mysteries that lurk in the shadows, even in a place as serene as the Blackbird State Forest.